Hey everybody, it's TJ from the Nashville Wine Duo, and I want to tell you about Anchor by Spotify. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me tell you why. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and more. So if you're interested, check out anchor.fm for more information. What's up, everybody? I'm TJ.
And I'm Kelsey, and we are
the Nashville Wine Duo. All right. Podcast one. We're really doing this.
I just want everybody to know TJ's been he's been pretty intense about this process. Really preparing me every step of the way, and
I really feel like we should be doing this podcast.
I do. I'm excited about it.
I'm really excited about it, and sometimes, in a duo relationship, somebody's got to be kind of the one that pushes the other person, and that's kind of
well, I think if you've followed along our journey at all, I mean, even if you haven't, you'll soon to figure this out. TJ is a little bit more of the getter-dunner, go-getter person.
The getter-dunner, go-getter.
I'm very much a totally lazy person. I mean, I'm a hard worker.
Lazy.
I'm a hard worker, but I like to sleep and lay around.
You like to work hard, and then after you work hard, you like to relax.
Yeah, but I'm like the sloth of the relationship.
I don't ever look at you as like the sloth of the relationship.
I'm like the sloth.
But
and
sometimes
what kind of animal would you be? You'd be like, I don't know.
What kind of animal would I be
I'm
if
trying
you're
to
a
think
sloth?
of like a chipmunk, I guess.
A chipmunk?
They prepare and they move around and then.
Sometimes I just have to pull her across the finish line and be like, okay, we can do this. We got this.
A lot of things in life. Anyway. Well, we're excited to finally be doing this.
Oh my gosh. We are so excited to be doing this.
The word excited too many times.
And have this behind us. So we really want to have fun with this podcast. We really want it to be about wine and Nashville and fun things.
Yeah, and answering questions from people, and I don't know, I feel like we love having things like this be an open dialogue with other people. So we want it not just to be about us, but other people.
I mean, we spent almost 2 years building our Instagram page from nothing.
Yeah.
And really gotten to know a lot of our followers, and
the community in Nashville.
It's been about it's been about our community and meeting people in person and having fun and stuff.
People in Tennessee. I mean, I shouldn't just say Nashville. It's kind of all over.
Yeah, but then from that, it's kind of gone all over the country. Us traveling around to wineries and stuff, meeting people, winemakers, wine industry people.
Yep. It's been really fun.
Yeah, so we really just want to have fun with this and talk to everybody that we've come across and meet new people and all that. So we really want to take this first segment and just really tell you about how we started. Really, I've said really like 20 times. Yeah. So that's gonna be a drinking game too. So when we say really, they have to drink their wine.
There's 3 words we say too many times. I say too many times, really, and excited. So we're gonna have to try to.
So anytime you hear one of those, you have to take a sip of your wine.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, drink wine while you're listening to us. That
really
makes it more fun.
Excited.
And
Yeah. Those are your drinking keywords. So.
Anyway, so you wanna tell the story of how we started the
Nashville Wine Duo.
You want me to start, or you
want
to start?
I love how you tell the story, so I want you to start.
I actually worked a 6 a.m. shift this morning at Trader Joe's, so I'm so excited to be sitting down and drinking wine right now and reminiscing. We're drinking a really good bottle of wine. We'll talk about that in a minute, but. So our whole thing started at Trader Joe's. Most people are familiar with that grocery store chain. If you are not, it originated out of California, and Trader Joe's just sells some really cool products that you don't find anywhere else, and they're very unique in a lot of ways. I don't know.
I think we can say we fell in love with Trader Joe's before as individuals worked there.
Yeah,
we love the product and we love shopping there.
I started shopping there because this is back when I ate more meat, but I think I watched some documentary learning about meat production and not trusting where I was buying my meat at the grocery store anymore. And then I found out Trader Joe's, they have a really high standard when it comes to their products. Like, they won't carry anything unless it meets up to no hormones.
Guess it meets up too.
It has to have a certain, it has to have a certain standard. Not just the meat, but everything. Like,
right.
They don't let certain products contain certain things.
Right. Yeah.
Minimally processed things, like, right? I mean, I'm saying this
totally.
right. Yeah. So then I started like shopping there for the meat and came to be like, okay, like everything's awesome there. And then I drank the wine from there and it was like, okay, this wine is like so good and it's inexpensive. So we'll go into more in later episodes of like how long we've worked there and all of that. But basically we both worked for Trader Joe's. We met there. We fell in love. I was writing the cheese order and TJ was writing the wine order.
Yeah. We were coming across all these wine varietals that we didn't know how to pronounce or knew what they tasted like. So we decided to like grab a bottle every night and just kind of like drink it and find out, what it tasted like and how we could better describe it to the customers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's always good to have like knowledge about something when you're trying to sell it or talk to people about it. And people really like to ask questions about the wine. Sorry, if you hear our dog, his nails have not been clipped. He's walking around.
Ryobi,
yes. Yeah. Sit down for a minute.
Anyway, so we came across, Nashville Cheese Gal. Tell them about meeting Courtney.
Yeah, so basically we kind of noticed that there was like a Beaujolais wine in the wine section that was like getting sold out like crazy. Like we'd come in and we'd be like, how is that shelf just keep like emptying off? And one day we just decided to ask a customer, like, why are you buying this bottle? We keep noticing, like, everyone buying it. And she said, oh, like, the Nashville Cheese Gal is talking about this wine. And we were like, what's that? Like, both of us were off the grid. We're not on Instagram or anything like that. And she said, like, she's got an Instagram account. And, a lot of people follow her or whatever.
Yeah, literally, like, Courtney, Nashville Cheese Gal, would post a bottle of wine. And within, like... 5 hours,
people will come
the wine would just be bought out, sold.
Yeah.
And it just kept happening to the point where we were just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and so then we ended up like putting 2 and 2 together. We realized who she actually was because she was a long-time shopper before she kind of blew up in Nashville and opened her own shop called Cheese Gal that's downtown. She was basically buying a lot of stuff from us to make her charcuterie boards before she went wholesale. So I remembered actually who she was, and she had the cutest little daughter, was buying stuff, really friendly. So next time I saw her, I talked to her about it, and she was like, well, why don't you guys just start an Instagram? And I was like, oh, maybe we should. And so then we did, and we were like, oh, we're going to start talking about the wine from Trader Joe's because we were drinking it all the time. We knew about it.
Yep.
And then after that, I had no idea, but she's actually friends with Shannon Ford, who's an influencer in Nashville. She was on the show Very Cavalieri. She came into Trader Joe's, and I didn't know who she was, but I was helping her like build a charcuterie board, and she needed help with wine, and I was like, how about you get this one? She was like, maybe one a little more expensive, and I picked one out. And then on the way out, she was so sweet, and I just was stupidly like, hey, my husband and I just started an Instagram. You should follow us, and it's called the Nashville Wine Duo. Like,
but you were so excited and passionate in the beginning.
I was, and I think it was very innocent.
Very innocent.
Very innocent, and not knowing all this world of like people and online and all that. But she was a really kind person. Left, and she was like, okay, I will. And then like 5 minutes later,
from the parking lot, shouted us out.
Yeah,
followed us, shouted us out
on her stories. Yeah, and we got like, I don't know, like 700,000 followers like in 24 hours.
Truly like was a huge launch in our page, and we always say Shannon Ford launched our page.
Yeah, in a way she really did, and
she didn't have to do that. And we're so thankful.
Yeah, we're really thankful. So that was
really cool of her.
That was a cool thing, and we're always hoping that one day we could reconnect with her. It's been 2 years since then.
Yes.
But that's the start of it.
Yep.
That's the start of it. And from there, a lot of things happened, a lot of things aligned, and it's been great.
Yeah, that's what's led us to do this podcast. Now people are saying, you guys should do a podcast about wine in Nashville and everything that's going on. And
yes.
And that's the reason we decided to take this new beast on.
Well, and I do think a lot of people not everybody is into like the Instagram or the Facebook or all that. Like sometimes people podcasts are their thing. I mean, I've gotten more into podcasts actually this year than I ever have like in my whole life. I never really listened to podcasts before, but recently, and like every time I'm in the car, I actually prefer to put on a podcast over music. I don't know why. I just
same with me.
Really?
Yeah, I have gotten into podcasts this year.
You didn't tell me you were doing that a lot.
I don't have to tell you everything. Sometimes secrets are good in a marriage, right?
I know, but I'm always like, oh, I'm listening to this podcast. I
don't tell you anything.
Anyway, so we are gonna like spend every segment just like talking about whatever wine we're drinking while we're talking. And tonight, a lot of the wines we are going to choose are going to be from Trader Joe's. We want to try to do budget-friendly wines.
Trader Joe's, we want to
Costco.
I
mean, and then if, whatever comes across that's interesting, we'll talk about it too.
We definitely do our liquor stores, wine
We're really
shops,
into natural
like
wines, so we're going to try to talk about some natural wines on here too, and biodynamic wines, but ones that you can actually find locally or that are easy to access.
Yeah, definitely.
Through the internet or whatever.
Yes.
But what?
This is a French wine from Trader Joe's that we decided to kind of drink tonight.
This one's so good.
We were looking at the pronunciation. Maison Barboulot. Barboulot.
We have a French friend that works at Trader Joe's. We have to have him say it for us, but yeah, we always call it. What do we always say?
We all say Maison. Yeah, we all say Maison.
Maison now.
It's a Cabernet Syrah 50-50 blend, but it is $5.99.
It's $6.99 now because a lot of I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but imported things have gone up in price.
Yeah.
For
the tariff.
The tariff, yeah. So most wines
used to be $5.99. Now it's $6.99. It is an awesome drink for $6.99.
And I don't know if Jenny will listen to this, but Jenny has followed us for a long time. This is Jenny's. This is Jenny's favorite.
I just remember her Swedish meatballs she made me when I was.
Oh gosh, those are amazing.
When I was. Yeah.
You had your leg.
I had my surgery. Anyways, that's another.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny, for the wonderful meatballs.
This Cab Syrah is really good. How would you describe it in the flavor and the taste? I guess you wouldn't say flavor when you talk about wine.
Flavor.
People have made fun of us. That shows it. I've been sipping
You've been up since 6 a.m.
People are going to be like, these losers. They don't know what they're talking about when it comes to wine. Good flavor.
No. The Cab, definitely. There's good tannins, good dark fruit.
Very dark,
but still super drinkable. I feel like even though you get the tannins and it's a full-bodied red, I
wouldn't say this is high end tannins.
I mean, I feel like it's definitely medium to high.
It's very smooth though.
That's what I'm saying. It's super drinkable.
Yeah.
So even though you get your Cab Syrah, dark fruit, it's still really drinkable.
Yeah, and if you drink a Cab or you drink a Syrah, you can kind of get the profile on this wine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got a lot of really good things going for it. I mean...
Yep. And we're going to take a picture of these wines that we're drinking during the podcast so you guys can go to your local Trader Joe's if they do sell wine and pick it up.
And sometimes we might get into like the nerdy aspects of wine, but overall we kind of just want to talk about if something's good and...
Like the flavor profiles?
Shut up. Tasting notes. That's the correct term.
Tasting notes.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that stuff. Honestly, we are a lot more educated than I think most people give us credit for, but we choose to kind of just keep it lighthearted and fun and just tell people if the wine is good, and then most people try it and they're like, oh, it's really good.
Yeah, we like that fun.
You don't need to know, I mean, if you want to, yes, ask us questions about it, but...
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You just want to know it's good. People just want to know that
sometimes
a wine is good.
Sometimes you just want to know if it's good.
Well, I like this. Do you recommend it?
Yeah, and we can give you some basic... tasting notes and stuff like that.
Definitely.
We are interested in the nerdy stuff for sure, but not everybody is.
But not everybody is.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so that's what we're drinking.
That's the drink that we're drinking.
Very good.
And then we really want to take questions from people. So we had a bunch of people send us questions through our Instagram. So you're definitely welcome to, number one, follow us on all our formats, our profiles. So Instagram, Facebook, and on the podcast here.
Yeah, and
ask us questions. Yeah. If we want to hear from you guys, we want to have this be
an open dialogue.
We definitely want to know what's going on with you guys and what you guys are thinking or wanting to hear from us or wanting us to kind of get involved in or try or investigate. So so we have some questions that we pulled. We pulled 3. Actually, we got 3, not a couple. So why don't you read the first question? Who's it from?
Glinda?
Glinda 6'2", and what does she ask us?
How long have y'all been married?
Oh, that's a good question. It feels like forever. Feels like a lifetime. 2.5 years.
Wait, is that a bad thing that it feels like forever?
No, it's a great thing. 2.5 years.
2.5 years. We got married right before the pandemic. Yeah, so we felt really grateful. I hope we
don't get flagged that we said pandemic. Are you going to get flagged?
I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But who cares?
I just telling someone about it today, just how like happy I was that we got married right before then. And then
we actually had friends like that were supposed to get married like a couple months after us.
A lot of people had to put it off, and now
well, just personal friends that got
friends, yes.
their weddings canceled because of the pandemic. So we're super thankful that we were able to get married. But yeah. 2.5 years we've been married. Best decision I ever made. So I don't know if a lot of you probably don't know, but Kelsey and I are divorcees that found each other.
Yep.
And so yeah, both divorced. Kelsey's a stepmom of 3 daughters, and we're just trying to figure life out.
Yeah, and that's also something that like we're very open to talking about, because I feel like there's a lot of like sometimes even like shame or weird things about being like divorced people or having stepchildren or anything like that, and I just think that should not be something that anybody needs to be afraid to talk about.
Yeah, there's no shame here.
No, not
obviously, because we are 2 divorcees. So, any questions, any kind of like, definitely, just talk to us. We're here to talk to. Like, you know what I mean?
You're funny.
All right, so there's that question. Marissa Morales, CU, wants to know what our favorite snacks are at Trader Joe's.
What's yours?
I mean, I love the chips and salsa at Trader Joe's. I think all of our salsas.
That's kind of a cop-out.
I'm just saying.
The chips and salsa.
I love the salsas. The salsa Authentica. The salsa Authentica for $1.79.
Authentica. Okay, so
if you go into
Verde. If you go into the salsa aisle.
Why did I just say Verde?
I don't know. Verde.
Verde. So that's because you were talking trash, and I had to like say.
If you go into the salsa aisle at Trader Joe's, like usually those are like the 2 salsas that they have the most of. They're both $1.99, and like we sell so much of it that
it went up. It used to be $1.79, so it's $1.99. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the green
salsa
and the red
Authentica,
one.
Yeah, it's so good. But that with like the organic round or the organic blue corn tortilla chips. I love chips and salsa.
That's like your.
It's one of them. Definitely one of my go-to snacks. And, you know, I love cheese, so maybe even like sprinkle a little cheese to make a little nacho salsa thing going on.
Okay.
Just me.
He actually really likes the turkey, those...
the chomps.
Chomps.
The turkey chomps.
Turkey chomps. But you can get those at other places.
You can get those everywhere. What's yours?
I mean, it really honestly kind of changes. Because it's like, I love when new stuff comes in. I always like to try like new things, new items
like
and everything.
What's the newest thing that you've tried that you liked?
Well, I haven't really tried anything like new recently. But the dolmas I like a lot. I got those today.
The dolmas?
Those are really good. It's like these rice, this sounds gross, but it's really good. It's like rice wrapped in a grape leaf.
They're in the grocery aisle.
They're Greek, and like, it's one of those items I like because it's shelf stable, so you can like it's a full meal that you can like take hiking or like whatever.
We've taken them hikes.
Like they're great and they're really good and tasty. But I mean, honestly, it changes all the time. That's just like one snack to mention. But there's a lot that are really good.
You like the plantain chips?
Love the plantain chips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plantain chips with the hummus, the Mediterranean hummus is
delicious.
Really good.
Yes.
Or even like carrot sticks. Those are good. I love the Mediterranean hummus. That's a good snack. Yeah. Last question. You read.
From
who?
Cedar
Winds Farmhouse.
And need an inexpensive white that's biodynamic. So
inexpensive white wine.
An inexpensive white wine. Yeah. So we're really into natural wine and biodynamic wines. We've actually visited. It's interesting how that has continued to happen over the past like 2 years, that we'll go places and I will just end up, that's the kind of wine we end up tasting. I kind of feel like we're being led in that direction in a lot of ways, which is kind of crazy.
Yep.
And you'll hear these terms, biodynamic, natural wine.
Sustainably farmed.
Yeah. but a lot of the time it isn't, and I think a lot of people get confused. One of the most common questions I get asked when I'm in the wine section is, I need a wine with no sulfites, or I need an organic wine, and then like, I don't know if that makes a difference, but I just don't get a headache from it, and a lot of misconceptions around all of this stuff. But it's sulfites, it's not always, that's not necessarily, most of the time, I doubt that is what's bothering you, if you think that is what's bothering you. A lot of times it's the histamines in the wine, and so you need to take like an antihistamine. But it is true that there can be, over 100 and how many things added to wine?
Lots of additives added to wine.
Like over 100 can be
approved,
added.
So, yeah.
So, but natural wine tastes like so different. I mean, I feel like from like wine that you would buy at like a regular store, it tends to be a little lower in alcohol, and it's like super dry. I mean, kind of almost a little bit bitter.
Yeah, well, even in the biodynamic world, like they're taking organic kind of approaches to the winemaking with like not spraying as much and different things like that. So
using
it's
more
more
things
TLC.
It's harder work.
It's definitely harder work.
Yeah, it's harder. It's harder to do it.
To produce a better tasting wine. So we actually just stopped in at St. Goose in downtown Franklin in Tennessee here. And we actually took a picture of it. It's on one of our posts, our latest post. But it was a French.
Well, and I want to say biodynamic is different from natural wine.
Totally.
Those are totally two different, separate things.
That's probably another whole nother
episode. But this place that he's talking about, St. Goose, they specialize in biodynamic, natural wines, organic wines,
sustainably farmed, all variations.
Yeah, and then their prices are ranging from, $11 all the way up to hundreds of dollars.
So the Sauv Blanc we had was $11.99.
It was a French one.
French biodynamic.
Yeah,
wine.
but the owner's name is Kate, and she was just really sweet and informative, and we're like, wow, this is so cool that this like exists, and there's a place, because I get asked all the time about it, like, where do I go to find more of this kind of wine, and I think that's on the rise in popularity, and people are trying to find more wine like that. So we highly recommend St. Goose for a place where you can find biodynamic, natural wine, organic wine. They have a lot of options. Yeah.
But there's more and more bottle shops popping up that are carrying more natural wines, pet nats.
For sure,
stuff like that,
sure. And I mean, I'm even hoping that in the future Trader Joe's is going to catch on to this trend, because I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
It's definitely going to get more and more popular. So
yeah, for sure. But we're excited about this.
Yes.
I said that we're excited. I gotta take a drink. But yeah, in the future we're going to definitely have guests on. That won't be for a little while. We probably will.
We're going to build this a little bit. We got some exciting guests that are going to join us to drink wine.
We're going to talk more Nashville stuff, and then just fun stuff about each other. And we just want this to be a fun space, and short episodes where you can just kind of, on the way to work, if you have like a 20-30 minute drive, you can listen in one sitting
and get it all in. So
sometimes when I'm driving, I have to take like two times to listen to the whole podcast.
Yeah, no,
ours will be one.
Yeah, we want to keep this a little on the shorter side, so you can get it in on your first commute, and definitely share it. Tell all your friends about it all over the country.
We appreciate everyone that has supported us so far.
And definitely ask questions. We want you guys to be a part of this. And it's been fun so far. So I'm excited about the future. So cheers, baby.
Cheers.